who hails from Akaibo in Mbu local government area. He holds a bachelor degree in law. So you see, we're going to be talking so much with him. I love his portfolio. Welcome to the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you, people.
All right. First of all, let me begin by asking you, how are the people of Oro Nation? How are they faring? In the height of the protests and all of that. How is Oro Nation this morning?
Oro Nation is peaceful. I'm happy that this time around, Oro people have hearkened to the appeal of His Excellency that Akwa Ibom people should behave normally, should cooperate with the state administration, nay, the national government. So Oro people are peaceful because it has been a terrible situation when Oro people protest. So during NSAS, they joined, and during the Naira Saka, the Naira Swap Saka, it was horrible. So we have spoken to the people. We are in this government. We have the deputy governor, our daughter, our mother. So we cannot afford to be playing the victim's card. So other people are in line with the yearnings of the generality of Akwa Ibom people by respecting the governors, by embracing the policy thrust of the governor, the rights agenda, and to a greater extent to key in to the peace process. Though Nigeria is boiling, but other people are peaceful.
Okay. Oron people are peaceful. In case you've been wondering, you've not had the opportunity to get to that axis of the state, Oron is peaceful. A personal question here. What's your impression? What's your disposition on the protest? Are you satisfied with government at the national level? Are you satisfied? Are you dissatisfied? What's your disposition in all of this?
Governance is not a tea party. When you want to analyze public issues, you begin from the family. Family is the first unit of the society. So it is not easy to manage one's family. Talk about the extended family, talk about the village, talk about the clans, talk about the local government area. At this level, including the state, it is not easy, in as much as we have humans to deal with. So, at the national level, I really pity Mr. President. It has not been easy. We have had about several programs. His address to the nation, he has made some statements, and some people are not satisfied with the statement, like removing tariff in some essential commodities like rice, millet, and all that. So people are still expecting him to say more. The crux of the matter is about the pronouncement he made. So people are still expecting more pronouncement. But I am looking at it from the security point of view. Yeah, we cannot throw away the baby with the dirty water. So we have to also be careful. We have to also be security conscious. We have to we must have the Nigerian state, the Nigerian nation at our heart. So we have to tread softly. That is my own perception.
Okay. All right. What was also your perception of, the president's response to, the tension, the protests? People are taught he should address fuel subsidy. He has said no going back on that. people, there were so many expectations. People, the protesters, Nigerians have demands: cutting down the cost of governance, reversal of fuel subsidy, cut off importation duties, and so many, expectations. And then the president came up with his speech on Sunday. How did you feel about it? How did you feel about his response to all the issues therein?
Actually, Nigerians are expecting better life. Mr. President has mentioned few things like the first subsidy. The first subsidy is a monster itself, pregnant with a lot of issues, a lot of problems. People capitalized on the removal of, on the subsidy to commit a lot of havoc. First subsidy encouraged smuggling and shifting of petroleum products to neighboring countries. First subsidy itself is an albatross to Nigerian economy. So to a greater extent, Mr. President must also be careful. But there should be measures. There should be measures. Mr. President should do more than that. The NPC Limited must come up with a framework of ensuring that we get this fuel at affordable prices across the nation. Importation should be reduced. Nations' refineries should be fixed. Because when you are importing all these products, there will be more pressure on the dollars. Though we are worshipping dollars, in Nigeria we'll go into that. Dollar itself is a problem that must be caught, checkmated. Because every government officials, every serious businessman is worshipping dollars. And the Bible says that you must be a slave to whatever you like most. So, Mr. President should do more. There should be a reasonable policy framework to regulate the supply of petroleum products to our doorsteps. On subsidy, if Mr. President is not ready to go into the subsidy regime, he should be able to design framework. Experts should be consulted. But in a more larger sense, the NPC Limited, as it is now, should come up with a framework of getting this product to our doorsteps at affordable prices. That is what I am talking from a point of strength. I am a petroleum marketer.
Okay.
I know what it takes. So there should be a policy trust that the NPC will design, most especially as it affects the importation, because this importation is giving huge pressure on the dollars. And this problem, I will say, is a tripartite problem. It has three legs: the albatross of the dollars, then the subsidy itself, and the corruption. Because a lot of Nigerians were hiding under the cloak of fuel subsidy to make huge personal gains to the detriment of the common citizen of this country. That is why Mr. President is sticking to this subsidy removal, and which has a multiplier effect. The consequences is what we are saying. So there should be a change of attitude. That is my take.
Okay. Now, still talking about the petroleum sector now. You've mentioned the fact that we import petroleum products. Now, what's your impression? What's your thought? What's your opinion on improving the modular refineries and giving them grounds to try to produce?
These are the measures I'm talking about. These are the policy thrust, the framework of ensuring that modular refineries are spread around the nooks and crannies. And let me be very frank. When Mr. President talks about these refineries, we understand that certain persons are saying that these refineries will be spread around where you have the raw materials. That is basically the South-South. Are we afraid that the economy of the South-South will multiply, will blossom? Why are we not coming up with this refinery? And to an extent, we are also aware that the environmental hazard that this refinery will produce, because it will have to do with a huge release of noxious and toxic substances into the environment that will have a multiplying effect on the atmosphere, the depletion of ozone layer, and all that. So back to it, that is what I'm saying. In the production, there are several ways of managing the release of these substances into the environment. That is also my field, because I study petroleum and environmental law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have postgraduate diploma in petroleum and environmental law. So these are the things. The other issue is that the other arm of the problem is that there is that fear that the South-South will be seriously empowered, because basically these refineries will be saturated across the length and breadth of the South-South. Is that the fear? But if that is the fear, why not allow Nigeria to have this fuel to be in peace? So there should be, this mineral refinery should be encouraged, and the hazardous effect thereof should be checkmated through harnessing the resources of this gas flaring into tangible products to also multiply the economy of the nation. This is what the Western world, the developed world, are doing.
We keep hearing billions of dollars
being
lost, through gas flaring, which has not been properly.
It is unpalatable. So these are the framework I mean. These are the policy trust that the president of this country should do. Let him give order, directives to some of these refineries to go on. We have billionaires in Nigeria. And we can also partner with the foreign companies, foreign firms. So let these economic programs be released.
Okay.
So that we can, because these regional interests and all that, that is what is hampering some of the development of seaports in this part of the globe. The Nigerians as a whole are the people that are suffering.
Okay. All right. Still on the petroleum sector, let's come back home now. Thankfully, you've informed us that you are a petroleum marketer.
Yes.
We are very happy to hear
Yes,
that.
and I also studied.
And you also studied petroleum and environmental law. Okay. Now let me ask
And
you.
currently I'm doing oil and gas law in masters.
Okay.
So that is my field.
Okay. Good. Beautiful. Now let me ask you this question that I'm sure Akwa Ibom people want me to ask you. Some months back, I know right now in Lagos, Abuja, the price of fuel is on the high side. But some months back, they sold at 595 naira, 600 naira. But here in Akwa Ibom, we got to buy 800 and something naira, 700 and something naira. Up until now, the price is yet to return to the usual 600 and something naira that we expected to buy. What was the issue? What has been the issue?
The problem we are having is that Akwa Ibom, we don't really have wealthy petroleum marketers in Akwa Ibom State. And when we talk about wealthy petroleum marketers, we talk about those Hausas, those Yoruba guys that are having more, those Igbo guys that are having more than 1,000 trucks.
Okay.
But here in Akwa Ibom State, hardly will you see marketers that will have up to 10 trucks. So
really,
yeah. So we are subjected to transportation. You pay huge transportation to bring the fuel from depots, private depots in Port Harcourt, within the tune of 800,000 to 1 million naira as transport fare. Like in Calabar Depot, you can pay more than 800,000. And when these trucks, what we are using to bring this fuel, are these trucks, and it is diesel. We all know the price of diesel, AGU, auto gas oil. So by the time you are at the disadvantage of paying 1 million naira, when a truck that will take petroleum products from Calabar Depot to a station there can take 200,000. Disadvantage number one. So we must have petroleum tank farm in Akwa Ibom State. I only struggled to bring 2 offshore tank farms to my village, Akayebu.
Okay.
So whenever there is no product there, Akwa Ibom marketers are subjected to this huge transport fare.
Okay.
That is the major cause of the problem.
Okay.
And you can see the risk of bringing these petroleum products from all these areas to the state.
Oh.
The logistic problem and all that. And to like in Calabar Depot, some marketers, truck owners, might not necessarily want to subject their trucks to such rigorous activities and risky ventures.
Okay. Okay, before we take a quick break, you've mentioned, having tank farms. What other solutions can you prefer so that, we can buy fuel at, somewhat reasonable prices?
There is no shortcut to that. The only shortcut, when I was the secretary of Independent Petroleum Association of Nigeria in 2007 to 2010, we brought this problem to the then governor, now the Senate President of the Republic of Nigeria, that Akwa Ibom State, through the instrumentality of the federal government, should have a refinery depot. We cannot be the #1 oil producing state in Nigeria without a government approved refinery or depot. Inconsequential. Very awful. We brought to the notice of the governor and he asked us to go and look for location. Unfortunately, our guys who were with me in the Ipman decided to go for some other location. And I think the governor was unhappy.
Okay.
That prompted me to scout for investors. In fact, the location we are building the 2 tank farms now at the location we presented to the government then.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the chairman of Ipman then decided to go for another location, which was not palatable. And the governor now decided to shut that down and through personal effort, private effort, we have a tank farm there.
Okay. It's good to have some clarity on these issues, and we hope government will begin to think towards directions that will make our case, make purchase of petroleum products a lot more easier for Akwa Ibom people. Yeah. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll still be talking with our guests this morning on the program. Do stay. Okay. Okay, we'll continue our conversation this morning. And
this is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's all man, because stand together we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we stay. Akwa Ibom, it's all man, no matter where we stay, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony. Everything you go through in life is preparing you for your next assignment. My father was a police officer, so I lived in the barracks. A barracks like a mini in Nigeria, you find everybody there. My dad's salary, of course, couldn't meet the family income, so I had to sell soft drinks for my mother so that we can make up the family income. I used to take soft drinks from our home and I'll go to the airport and sell. It was fun. I didn't know I was going to ever get into hotel business. So eventually, my coke hawking helped me later in life when I started running my hotel. Those little things you did became building blocks for my later days in life. And you know what? My house was built on the same street I used to go through to hawk. And so everybody that saw me hawk these soft drinks for my mother, when I bought a land there and built my house, all of those people were still alive. It's like, some of them had to breed their children. Look at me mentor these kids. Today, when I drive around the streets, sometimes you find people sell and you stop by. I just remember, it used to be like this. That hawking has helped me today to be able to serve the people. Accept the things you can't change and change the things you can, and ensure that you just have the fear of God in you. I think the only person that can stop you from achieving what God has set out for you is you.
Akwa Ibom is rising.
Still Center Point M45. Many thanks for staying with us on the program. My guest is still on board, Bishop Etham. And like I said earlier, he has lots of feathers on his cap, has served in various capacities. Thankfully, he has told us he has some educational qualification in petroleum and environmental law. So many feathers, so he is worthy, if you ask me, to talk about lots of issues. Before the break, we were talking about bringing preferring solutions to the high cost of fuel here in Akwa Ibom State. What other solutions do you have to that, sir?
Yeah, the most important way of handling the issue is that we have a governor that is entrepreneurial driven. With that entrepreneurial background, we have to develop tank farms in Akwa Ibom State. Like I said, it is very awful to know that Akwa Ibom State as the major or the first oil producing state in Nigeria does not have a singular depot owned by the state government and the Nigerian government. There is no depot or refinery built by the Nigerian government in Akwa Ibom State. So all the petroleum products, all the crops are being shifted away. And that will have made it possible and easier. Because you get the petrol, like when I was in Port Harcourt, operating as independent marketers, it was very easy. When the refinery produces the fuel, it will just transfer to the PPMC depot. Just a production and transfer. So if we have refinery in Akwa Ibom State, it will be very easy. The crude oil that is being produced here will just be transferred to the depot. So if the federal government cannot give us a refinery or depot, Akwa Ibom State government can go for a tank farm that is affordable, so that products will be shifted. Tank farm means refined products will be brought to the shore of Akwa Ibom and transferred into the already established tankage capacities for onward distribution to marketers, rather than you allowing Akwa Ibom marketers to be surviving at the mercy of the neighboring states who are not even producing this hydrocarbon deposit as much as we do in Akwa Ibom State. So the second solution is that Akwa Ibom government can purchase several trucks, and that can be either within the premise of the Petroleum Ministry or the Transport Ministry to bring down these products. If we can use 100,000 diesel or 200,000 diesel to transport this petroleum product to Akwa Ibom State to and fro, and about 100,000 is paid as the transport fare for maintenance of the truck under the supervision of either of the ministry, it will bring down the burden drastically
on the marketers. And
it will, yes, and Akwa Ibom people will have a fair share of this product, because we cannot stay in the water, in the stream, with the soap now floating on our eyes, and the pains thereof.
Okay. All right. Before we get to talk about, Akwa Ibom State government measures taken to, alleviate the tension, alleviate the hunger in the country. Let's quickly talk about, this news that emanated earlier, sometime late last week, that the federal government is to spend $7.2 billion on 2 deep sea port projects. The Akwa Ibom deep sea port project is going to be one of it. Now, what do you make of this? How important is this project to Akwa Ibom State?
In fact, that is the best news I have received, and should be the best news that Akwa Ibom people have received within the year. It is the news of I would say news of the century, because all what we are struggling for, Akwa Ibom State is a civil servant state. We are talking about industrialization, because seaport will bring a lot of industries, a lot of companies will flourish this part of the globe. And this time around, when we talk of blue economy, which is synonymous with the deep sea part, or any form of CPAP, you are talking about economic explosion. So I have been saying, agitating, and I have been bringing to the notice of the whole world, particularly the Akwa Ibom people, that why we are having dwindling fortune of economics is because we don't approach our economic development from the sea. Are we talking about Singapore? We know what that means. So there is a lot to tap. There is a lot to benefit from the sea.
How ready are the people of, Oro Nation, the people of Mbu, the people of Ebro, for all of this development? How ready are the youths in particular?
We are ready. You've seen that other people are very peaceful now. Some of us are programming ourselves. When I heard about this deep sea port, and in my LLM law program, which I'm running, so I've decided to go for the law of the sea. Law of the sea is one of my major specialization. So we are prepared. We have the Maritime Academy there, which is now Maritime University, though there is hiccups here and there, certain persons trying to play the Judas game. But it's also, we are prepared.
Okay.
But especially the type of governor we have, who has attracted development to the Oro Nation. So we are prepared, we are happy.
Okay.
We are happy. The only thorn in the flesh of the Oro people is the insecurity issue.
Okay.
Though the state government is trying its best. So Oro people are prepared.
Okay.
The deep sea power will come. And let me bring to the notice of Akwa Ibom people. It is not Oro deep sea port. How many are we in Oro? Where do we have the workforce? Where are the expatriates? I mean, the expatriates. Even the larger Akwa Ibom society don't even have the type of workforce to manage the deep sea port. So it is not an Oro matter. This is a Akwa Ibom matter. We are one.
Okay. Now, talking about Akwa Ibom, let's talk about, your impression on the measures taken by the Akwa Ibom state government under the administration of, Governor Moino, to tackle the hunger in the land. And people keep saying, apart from the national level, that the state government and the local government, they do have some level of responsibility. Talk to us about your impression on how Governor Moino is, trying to douse tension.
The level of concentration by the governor about grassroots development, about youth development, women development, and community empowerment is enormous. It's highly commendable. I have just read, though a few days ago, or about a week, I was out of the state on an Episcopal mission.
Okay.
But when I came back, I have seen in the social media that His Excellency is empowering about 5,000 youths on industrial development, empowerment. That is the step in the right direction. We are happy. But the problem is that certain elements, His Excellency should open his eyes wide open, as he did in the appointment of his personal aides, giving the power to the people. Because certain elements are beginning to pick their cronies, pick their family members. He should come up with a framework on how to bring these youths. He has to allow the stakeholders to be involved, so that those communities, those villages, those youths who have worked for the party, those youths that are responsible, should be brought on board.
Should it be a party thing? Should
It, should, it has to be
Akwa thing?
It is a Akwa Ibom thing. His Excellency is doing Akwa Ibom thing.
Okay.
We know that. So it has to be across the party lines. So where stakeholders are involved, it will spread. Where stakeholders are involved, it will be meaningful. Yeah, and we have to bring the key word in this circumstance should be productivity.
Okay.
Productivity will mean utilizing the opportunity reasonably. Because there are some youths you will bring on board because of your consideration as your brothers, siblings, and all that. Some time ago, during successive administration in the state, certain grants were given to farmers. Some youths were trained, and about 250, 500,000 and more was given.
Okay.
And believe you me, the purpose of which that program was initiated was defeated. How many farmers do we have now in the state? How many of those youths, those our brothers, siblings, that we gave those empowerment packages to are utilizing it well? What is the multiplying effect? What is the monitoring status? How are we mobilizing? Because as I've been saying, the problem, I want to go into communication now,
Yeah.
which is also my fear, development communication. When you bring a project, when programs are introduced, there must be social mobilization, sensitization. You don't just give somebody 1 million, bring the youth and train, and allow the youth to roam the street after using the money to buy sound system, buy some big Android phones,
Flat screen television,
give some to their girlfriends and all that. So the purpose of which that program was initiated and implemented are totally defeated. And all the blames will go back to the government. And government is a continuum. If the farmers that were empowered by Obamata did the needful, that will have replicated during the previous administration. If those ones that were empowered by Obama administration did the needful, obey the rule of the game, it would have been better for Udom Emmanuel, His Excellency, to consolidate on that. Vice versa. Here we are, upon all the programs introduced by the present administration. How many of us are prepared? A day has been set aside by His Excellency for farming.
2 days
2 days
in a month.
Yeah. Have we hearkened to that directive? And another issue is insecurity. Prominent people going into the farms and all that, the insecurity aspect. Because I learned a prominent Akwa Ibom person who went to the farm was kidnapped. So these are the issues. So it is not the issue of blaming or casting a whole burden on the government. It's a problem of attitudinal change, behavioral change, changing our habits, adapting and hearkening to the directive or the policy thrust of the government. Because when you are washing your clothes or the clothes of your father, also your hands will be clean. So as we are listening to the government, as we are partnering with the government, we should be very sincere. So not empowering 5,000 youths is the problem. The selection process.
Selection process.
Because some are out for personal aggrandizement. To Fiakwa.
To Fiakwa. Let me join you. Because I also wish well for Akwa Ibom people. All right. You brought the issue of accountability. You know, before I let you go, let's talk about the local government elections, local government autonomy, and accountability. Because lots we Nigerians expect a lot from local governments. So what's your thought? What's your impression? What's your perspective when it comes to local government elections, local government autonomy, and then the grassroots holding them accountable?
As a matter of fact, that is the same worry of His Excellency the Governor. How the local government system that will so be independent can deliver. And that is why our party, let me try to be partisan now. As a party, we are looking for prominent people. Though it comes, people were not really prepared. The decision of the Supreme Court just took everybody by storm. And good enough, it happens within the period that we are trying to select and elect our representatives, the managers of those funds. These are the council chairmen and the councillors, nay supervisors. So a lot is expected from that local government system, and I think those that have the mandate of the people to manage these resources, both human and material resources, are credible to some extent. Those that are selected, those that are elected by our Congress or our Congresses. So these persons are but I think the party will keep a watchful eye. The party will keep a watchful eye on the people so elected, so given mandate, because even though it is autonomous, it's an autonomous system now, you are from a party. And that is why our party faithfuls have chosen these noble men and women, and we are not going to allow them act the bull in the China shops. We will be monitoring them and ensure proper things are done. Good enough allocations are given on monthly basis, and they will be published. So I think the people at the grassroots will be there to look at what came in this month or last month and what is being done with it. Where that is not done, if you don't meet up with the yearnings of the people, if your performance is not commensurate with the funds, the resources, the people will raise alarm. And there are several agencies to act. The law will be there to act and bite. And there are people that the whistle blowing. Some time ago I read and when I was writing my exam in ICSAN, Institute of Chartered Secretary of Nigeria. So I saw very active aspect of the whistle blowing. It is official. I didn't know that whistle blowing is official. It's permitted by law.
It is.
So people will blow whistle. And people will be asked to give account of their stewardship. Even the governor is accountable to the people. He will tell the people what is so. What about the council chairman?
That's right.
If the reverse is the case, people will act, and the law will act and bite accordingly.
The law will act and bite accordingly. The people have the right to hold their leaders accountable, and you have to do it lawfully. My guest is a delightful person, one we can learn so much from. He, like I said earlier, he's the erstwhile president of the President General of the Oro
we have several presidents.
Nation. Yeah, so many feathers on his cap. He was a special assistant on youth matters to former Governor Godswill Akpabio. He is currently the South Publicity Secretary to the People's Democratic Party. Yeah, he's an accomplished businessman. He just told us he is a petroleum marketer. All right, thank you so very much.
Thank you
very much for coming to share your wealth of knowledge with us, coming to talk to Akwa Ibom people, enlighten us here and there, and sharing your perspective on the program. Thank you so much. We look forward to having you again on the program. Thank you so much. All right, and that's it on this session of the program. Thank you so very much. Remember, you can watch us on Facebook Live, Facebook AKBC Radio and TV. Check out, drop your comments with which we would redirect to our guest this morning. We're also on Star Times channel 113. Thank you so very much. We have more for you. Do stay.
Thank you.
Akwa Ibom is rising.
My name is Sharon Obuwala. I am a student in the Bible. I love my Akwa Ibom State. Let's go rise my Akwa Ibom State. To the place of greatness. Oh, Akwa Ibom. Let that bring me forward.
This is a home where we all belong. The place